Good evening. I'm Briggs LaSavage.
And I'm Dan Wolf. Thanks for joining us. New details are emerging from the tragic shooting in Cloquet last week that left 2 people and the suspect dead.
Northern News Now obtained search warrants connected to that incident today. Rob Coles joins us in studio to break down what we're learning today. Rob.
Well, Briggs and Dana, it's been 10 days since the shooting at the Super 8 in Cloquet claimed the lives of 2 victims before the alleged shooter turned the gun on himself. Now we're learning more about the activities of the suspect both during and just before the incident. According to the search warrants, the suspected shooter, Nicholas Linnaeus, sent a Snapchat message to his supervisor around the time of the incident. It included the words WTF is going on. After receiving the message, that supervisor called Linnaeus around 6:30 p.m. the night of the shooting. Now, for timeline reference, police were dispatched to the Super 8 3 minutes later. Through viewing surveillance footage, authorities learned Linnaeus appeared to be on the phone with someone during the incident. The search warrant also indicates the shooting suspect's vehicle had a camera in it that was recording at the time of the shooting. And that shooting claimed the lives of 2 people. Super 8 worker Shelby Treadle died inside the building, and Patrick Rowers was killed outside in the parking lot. Cloquet police are leading the investigation with assistance from the BCA. And police haven't said whether the victims and the suspect were connected in any way. The warrant does indicate the suspect entered one of the hotel rooms at the Super 8 at some point during the incident. A motive for the deadly violence remains unclear.